The email hit my inbox like a punch to the chest. There it was. For my sister Sabrina. Subject line reading, wedding gift options, please choose one. My hands shook as I clicked it open on that Thursday morning in Ridgeport, Connecticut. The lake outside our home shimmered under the rising sun. But inside, everything felt cold. I had been sipping coffee on the deck, trying to find a moment of peace 3 months after Jonathan's funeral. Now peace was gone. My name is Melanie Stone. I'm 41, and the silence in this lakefront house weighs on me more than the long nights I spent caring for my husband through his 3-year battle with cancer. Jonathan was 14 years my senior, and my family never let me forget it. At every holiday, they whispered about the sugar daddy dynamic, rolling their eyes when I talked about our real connection. They never saw the man who held my hair during morning sickness with our son Luke, who researched every treatment option when the diagnosis came, who wrote shaky love letters even as the disease stole his strength. I became his nurse, his advocate, his everything. Our master bedroom turned into a hospital ward. I learned 4 drips, fought insurance companies, and slept on a cot beside him, waking hourly to adjust pillows or hold his hand through the pain. "You don't have to do this alone," he'd whisper on the worst nights. "I have money for professionals." I'd kiss his forehead and remind him of our vows, in sickness and in health. That's who we were. When he passed, the will reading left me stunned. The Ridgeport Lake house worth over $1 million, the downtown condo as an investment, 2 luxury cars including his cherished Range Rover, nearly $2 million in accounts, and that Rolex Submariner he wore until the end. "I want you secure," he told me near the end. "Keep the house. Be okay." I promised, knowing the okay part was a lie. Now I work part-time at Bright Nest handling customer relations, not for the money, but for human connection without pitying stares. Twice weekly, I volunteer at the Cancer Support Foundation we funded together. It helps to be around people who get that grief doesn't vanish. Luke, my 19-year-old son studying environmental science at college, calls Sundays. He's the light, the one who called Jonathan Dad naturally, who remembers soccer games and driving lessons, not the age gap gossip. That morning, after reading Sabrina's email, I pour my coffee down the sink, stomach churning. The list was outrageous. 1. Our lake house as the foundation for their new family. 2. The condo for Derek's city work. 3. The Range Rover to carry on Jonathan's legacy. 4. The Rolex as a daily reminder of family bonds. 5. A Bora Bora honeymoon, $16,000. Please select one by month's end, it said. Signed with love from Sabrina and Derek. I read it 3 times, certain it was a cruel joke. This house held every memory, where Jonathan died in my arms, where Luke grew up, where love lived. I called my lawyer friend Patricia immediately. "This can't be serious," she said. "Don't you dare give away $1 million assets to your entitled sister." I spent the day in agony, flashbacks flooding me. I was 15 when I practically raised Sabrina while our parents worked opposite shifts. I missed school dances to babysit during her chickenpox, drove 6 hours skipping finals for her graduation, co-signed her first apartment lease, and paid 6 months' rent when she was broke after college. I funded her study abroad in Paris by emptying savings and working triple jobs. When she totaled her car, I bought her a new one. Therapy after her breakup? My dime. Career switch boot camp? Again me. They never repaid. Never thanked properly. Jonathan saw it all. "You're too giving, Melanie," he'd say gently. "Some people take until there's nothing left. By evening," I replied carefully. I thanked her for the thought, said the other items held deep personal meaning and were part of Luke's future. but I'd happily gift the Bora Bora honeymoon, a private villa, all amenities arranged. This creates lasting memories, I wrote. Love. Meline. I hit send, then poured Jonathan's favorite whiskey and sat in his study. The Rolex sat stopped at 3:47, the exact minute he left. Her text came minutes later. Are you kidding? The honeymoon? That's insulting. It's all or nothing. Meline. Choose everything on the list or don't bother with the wedding. Then, you have 24 hours. Family who can't support family aren't family. Followed by messages from Mom and Dad agreeing. I turned off my phone and lay awake all night, surrounded by old photo albums. Images of young Sabrina on my hip at the store when I was just a teen missing homecoming. Her hugging me at graduation. Not our parents. Moving into that empty apartment. Sobbing thanks I never collected on. How had the little girl I'd sacrificed for become this stranger demanding my dead husband's possessions? Dawn brought clarity. If Sabrina wanted all or nothing, she'd get nothing. I didn't sleep. Instead, I logged into the wedding gift account where $45,000 sat untouched. Jonathan had taught me every password during his illness. Be prepared. I froze it, revoking her access. Then I emailed every vendor she'd copied me on: the Hamptons Resort Deposit, floral designer, band, photographer, bridal atelier. I formally withdrew all commitments as sole account holder, BCCing Patricia for records. My phone stayed off as I worked in Jonathan's garden. He planted those roses during treatment. Abraham Darby, Lady of Shalott, Graham Thomas, symbols of hope. You plant today believing tomorrow comes, he'd said. Dirt under his nails. Kneeling there pulling weeds felt cathartic, tearing out what no longer belonged. By sunset, notifications exploded. 47 missed calls. 83 texts. 19 voicemails. I deleted them all. Then I called Luke. Before you hear it elsewhere, your aunt and I are in conflict over her wedding. I told him everything, the list demanding the house, car, watch, honeymoon, the ultimatum, my response. He listened quietly, then exhaled. Mom. That's insane. She asked for Dad's house? What's wrong with her? You did the right thing. Dad would be proud. I'm proud. His words, echoing Jonathan's steadiness, steadied me. The next morning brought my parents pounding on the door with Sabrina and Derek. Through the peephole, Derek checked his phone while they raged. I opened but blocked entry. You gave me all or nothing, I said calmly. I chose nothing. Sabrina called me vindictive. My father demanded we discuss like adults. No, I replied. Leave or I call police for trespassing. Derek suggested they go. Sabrina snapped at him. They left after 20 minutes of threats. But the assault shifted online. My mother sent a family-wide email painting me as selfish. Relatives flooded my phone. Patricia warned of an email from Mom probing ways to contest the will on undue influence and my mental instability. No case, she assured, but the intent chilled me. Then Luke texted urgently. Grandma called him at school threatening disownment unless he convinced me to comply. She suggested he transfer to cheaper school and donate tuition difference to Sabrina. What the hell is wrong with them? He asked. I cried outside work. Rage building. They'd crossed every line by weaponizing my son. Luke stood firm. Any family disowning me over this isn't worth having. Dad showed me real family, unconditional. That evening, Mom returned alone, asking to come in civilly. I refused. She pleaded for Sabrina's sake. The wedding 3 months away falling apart. I reminded her of my teen years raising Sabrina while they worked and traveled. You gave me responsibility without recognition. Now you guilt me over my home. She mentioned the $2 million like it was excess. Get off my property, I said. Contact Luke again, and I file restraining orders. Jonathan ensured I have good lawyers. She left defeated, staring like I was a stranger. The compliant daughter was buried with my husband. I opened wine in Jonathan's study that night, talking to his empty chair about the threats, the manipulation. Am I doing right? A text from Luke interrupted. He blocked them all. Love isn't conditional. You and Dad taught me that. Tears fell as I toasted his portrait. The following days brought more family emails, but I focused inward. Work, volunteering, lake walks. 4 months of relative silence followed as Luke returned to school excelling. I joined the foundation board, redirecting the rejected $45,000 into the new Jonathan Stone Caregivers Support Fund for respite care. Luke's 20th birthday arrived with May sunshine and rose scent. I frosted his chocolate cake for a small gathering, us, Patricia's family, his college friends. A unfamiliar car pulled up. Derek stepped out hesitantly. Mrs. Stone. I was Sabrina's fiancé. There's been a misunderstanding. He explained Sabrina claimed I'd promised full wedding funding and the house, then spitefully withdrew. But I saw your post. Vendors confirmed your side, the account untouched. The demands. He confronted her. She admitted but justified sharing wealth. I ended it. Not over money. I can afford my wedding, but the lies. The way she spoke of Jonathan's death as opportunity. I couldn't marry that. He handed me the engagement ring envelope. Give it to her if you want. I can't face more drama. I accepted, offering sincere sorry despite everything. Derek left, and I held another shard of her dreams. Later, as Luke blew candles surrounded by genuine love, Derek texted, I understand why you chose nothing. Sometimes nothing is the only gift left. Hope you and your son find peace. 2 weeks later, Sabrina's Facebook message. I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life. Derek left. I'm humiliated. Back with Mom and Dad. All because you wouldn't share your fortune. Never forgive you. We're done. I replied simply, I know. I wish you well. Then blocked her. I picked Jonathan's roses and drove to his grave. It's over, I told the stone, arranging flowers. I kept the house. Luke thrives. I learned family from relatives. Passing a matching Range Rover on the drive home stirred gratitude, not pain. Jonathan left more than assets. Worth. Unconditional love lessons. 6 months post-wedding date. Mom emailed. Sabrina marries small next month. Not invited. Satisfied? You chose money over family. No response needed. They never grasped I'd chosen real family over conditional users. That night, preparing dinner for Patricia's wine and movie visit, Luke texted a photo of his team winning an award for lake restoration. His smile mirrored Jonathan's. The phone rang unknown. Maria from the foundation thanked me personally. The fund aided its 50th family. A caregiver cried over respite help after months, without sleep. Sitting in the quiet kitchen. Sunset over the lake. I reflected. My circle shrunk, no parents. No sister, but became real. Built on love. Respect. Presence. Worth more than any fortune. Jonathan's example guided me. Family chooses you daily. Without price tags. Luke legally took Stone as last name to honor him. Proving family is choice, not blood. The Caregivers Fund grows. Honoring Jonathan's fight and my caregiving years. I feel his pride in quiet moments, like walks. Rose tending. Luke's calls. Grief remains, but transformed into purpose. What remains when demands strip away illusions? For me, a smaller but authentic family. Legacy work helping others. And peace knowing I stood firm. Blood ties don't guarantee loyalty, shared values and presence do. Jonathan taught that. I live it now.